I will show you how to monetize your Instagram account in 2025. And I know because I've helped dozens of content creators generate thousands of leads and sales through Instagram. So in this video, I will show you what funnel you should be using, how to set it up for free, and what you should do next based on the results you get from it. And whether you have 500 followers or 500,000 followers, this will work. Let's get started. So here's how the funnel works. We start by giving away something for free. And this could be an ebook, a checklist, a video. It doesn't really matter as long as it solves a problem that your audience has. And you shouldn't overcomplicate this. This should be pretty simple. It doesn't need to be a 40-page ebook or a 45-minute webinar. It can be very simple. It can be easy to consume. And I've seen people get a lot of leads just by a one-page checklist. So you just need to create something for free that solves a problem that your audience has. And that brings us to the next step, because then you need to promote this on Instagram. So in your Instagram post, you can say something like, hey, I created this free guide that will help you with this and this and this. Please comment with guide below and I will send it over in the DMs. Or inside your Instagram stories, you can say, okay, please DM me guide and I will send over my free ebook. Then whenever they do that, two things happen. First, they get an automatic comment reply in the comment section. And then two, we start a DM conversation in the Instagram DMs. And then inside the Instagram DMs, we send them a message with a button. And if they click on that button, we ask for their name, we ask for their email, and then we deliver the free guide all in the DMs. So this all happens on Instagram, no landing page, no link in bio, no forms. Once we have delivered the guide, then we wait for a short amount of time and then we present them with a low ticket upsell. And this upsell should solve the next problem that they have. And this upsell should be very low ticket. So think like less than 20 bucks. And this is because most people don't know you yet. So they don't trust you enough to buy a big offer from you. But $15, that's something that they could impulse buy. And for you, it's also a benefit because a low ticket thing is very easy for you to create. So that's basically the entire funnel. We give away something for free. They comment. We ask if they're interested. We ask for their name and email. And then we present a low ticket upsell. And before we're going to create this, let me first talk about the results that you can expect from this. So with this funnel, I usually see that 50% of the people that comment also give their name and email. And then once they've given their email, from those people, between 5 and 25% will actually buy your low ticket upsell. And of course, these results depend on how well you know your audience and how good your upsell is. But from this funnel, you can get two outcomes. One, it could be that a lot of people are actually buying your upsell and you make a lot of money. In that case, you're happy, you just need to do more. Or it could be that people are not buying. And if that is the case, that tells us something too, and I will cover later in this video what we can do with that. So let's create this funnel, and we will do that by using a tool called ManyChat. And ManyChat is one of the best Instagram DM automation platforms in the world, and I've used them for the last 5 years for almost all of my clients. I basically use them because they're very easy to use, 100% meta approved, and it's very cheap. They have a free plan and the pro plan already starts at $15 a month. So if you don't have a ManyChat account yet, you can just go to the link in the description, and there you will find my link and my discount code that will give you 30 days of the pro plan for free. And full disclaimer, this is an affiliate link. So if you sign up with my link and you pay ManyChat, I get a commission, but it doesn't have any influence on the price you pay. And it does help me with creating free videos like these. So you can just go to the link in the description, or you can just go to chathamize.com/MC, and that will bring you directly to the ManyChat website. And then here you can click on get started, click on Instagram, and then here you can connect your Instagram account to ManyChat. And I actually have a separate video on my YouTube channel that explains how to set it up step by step. So after you've watched this video, I highly recommend going to that video as well. So I already have a ManyChat account, so I will just click on sign in and then sign in with Facebook. So now I'm logged into ManyChat, and then we need to create our first automation. And we can actually start by using the free template that I give away in my free school community. So if you're not part of my school community, you can also go to the link in the description, or you can just go to chathamize.com/school, and that will bring you into my free school community. And then here you can just basically sign up. Then once you are in, you can basically go to the classroom, go to the ManyChat Masterclass Lite, and then go to the launch your first funnel with ManyChat, and then click here on the ManyChat lead generation template. And you can basically just install this template in your ManyChat account for free. So here you can just click on install. Then you need to select the page you want to install this for. So I will just go with Chathamize support in this case. And then you can just click on install now. So now this template is installed in my ManyChat account. And then if you go to automation, you have a new folder called lead generation funnel. And then here you can click on lead generation funnel again. And this basically consists of 2 automations. So in the rest of this video, we will build out the entire funnel. And I will use the example of someone that's inside my paid school community that basically came with this example. And that's what I'm going to use. So what we will do is we give away a free gear list. And the gear list is basically a list of all the gear that you need in order to start with creating content. And then you need to think about, okay, if someone has the gear list and actually buys the stuff that they need, what is the next step that they want to do? And the next step they want to do is record. So then when you start recording, and I know you actually need a recording checklist. You need to do a lot of different things before you actually can hit that record button. And that's the upsell that we give away. It's a very simple upsell. It could be like $7. So that's what we will use. We will give away a free gear list. And then the next problem is that they want to start with recording. So then we upsell the recording checklist. So that's basically how it works. So let's start with this funnel. So how it basically works is we start with this one, and here we just confirm the interest in the free thing that we're giving them, which is the gear list. And this automation basically has 2 triggers. So one trigger is when they comment gear list on any of our posts, and the other trigger is when they DM us with gear list. So let's set these up. So in this case, we are going to go with all posts or reels, because then we can create this automation once and then reuse that across all of our posts and reels. Then we can click on continue. And then here we want to go with gear list. So I would just type in gear list. And it could also be that people, for example, forget a letter at the end. So gear list. And could also be that people type it in with a space. So I always add some variations here in the case that people don't comment with the right word, basically. So here we can click on continue. And then here we have the public reply. So the public reply is the automatic comments reply in the comment section. And what you want to do here is you basically want to tell them, okay, please go to the DMs, and you want to excite them for the thing that they will be getting, which in this case is a gear list. So what we do here, and I would just copy this from my second screen, is can't wait for you to start with shooting videos. Please check your DMs and message requests. Then we have another one with let's get started with your first video, just send a DM. And then lastly, we have that's the first step to creating videos, check your DMs and message requests folder. So that's basically what we do over here, and then click on save. So basically anytime someone comments now with gear list, this automation will start. And then also we have one here, if the message begins with gear list, gear list or gear list. And then I will also add one with double quotes, because sometimes people do that. Then we can also start this, right? So I can just enable this as well. Then in this first message, we basically want to confirm the interest in the thing that they will be getting, which is the gear list. So I will just copy this from my second screen. And then we say, looks like you're ready to start creating videos. With my free gear list, you will get my best gear recommendations to start making your first video and show your expertise. Just click on the button below or reply with gear to get instant access. So then whenever they click on this button, which is a quick reply, or they reply with gear, then they go to the next step. The reason why we do this is the quick reply doesn't appear on Instagram desktop. And this is basically an Instagram limitation. So that's basically we say, or reply with gear. Because if they reply with gear, then they can also go to the next step. So that's basically the reason why we do it like this. And that's also the reason why we have 2 automations instead of 1. So that's what we do. We hit update here. Then we open this automation. And then here, the first thing that we want to do is we want to add a trigger. So this trigger is gear. So if people message us gear, then we also want to, now I'll also add some misvariations here, some misspellings. And then here with double quotes and here with single quotes. So we have some misspellings over here. Hit save and enable it. So that's working. And then says, awesome, just a few quick steps to get you access. What is your first name? Then here we basically ask for someone's first name. And then here the data collection expires in 23 hours. And we actually want to change this because we also want to send reminders if they don't reply to this message. So what we can do here is we can set the data collection expires in 3 minutes. So we do that over here. And then we can copy this message. And then if we connect the if contact has not responded to this next message, what will happen is that if someone doesn't reply to this question within 3 minutes, they will get this next message. So in this next message, what we'll do is we will just remove this because we're not using that. And then here we just want to send them a reminder. So I'll just copy this from my second screen. But here we can say something like, oh, you're just 2 small steps away from getting my best gear recommendations. Just type in your first name below to get instant access to my free gear list. And then you want to make sure that you set this to 1 hour, right? So what we can now do next is instead of just sending one reminder, we can also send another reminder. So we send this reminder after 3 minutes, and then we can send another reminder after 1 hour. So that makes sure that people actually enter this funnel and actually give away all of their information. And with reminders, there's always a balance between being annoying and reminding people. And I have clients we just do 1 reminder with, but I also have clients with more reminders. So there's always a kind of balance. By default, I basically use 2 reminders. So we can do one after 3 minutes and then one after 1 hour. So we set this to 1 hour, and then here we basically have the last reminder. So I would just copy this again, and then we basically say, last reminder, you almost have access to my free gear list. Just type in your first name below. And then you need to make sure that this last one is set to data collection expires in 23 hours. So people have 23 hours to respond to this last message, right? So that's what we do. We just add that all over here. And then they go to the next step. And we say, nice to meet you, first name. And then what email do you want to receive your, and then we change this to free gear list. Just type in your email below. What's super important here is that the reply type is email. So ManyChat automatically checks if the given email is also an email. So again, we will set this to 3 minutes so we can send them a reminder after 3 minutes. And then we basically set up similar reminders as we did with the first name. So we grab the if contact has not responded. And we do that over here. We can just remove this. And then I will get the reminder from my second screen. So here we say, you're just 2 small steps away from getting my best gear recommendations. Just type in your email below to get instant access to my free gear list. And then again, we set this to 1 hour. And then we copy this message again. We connect this. And then here we change the text again to this. Just type in your email below. And again, make sure that you set the last one to 23 hours, right? So that's how we do it. Then you need to make sure that you connect these to the last message as well. And then here we have the last message where we're basically going to thank them for signing up. And then here we can say, you're all set, first name. Can't wait for you to get started with shooting videos. Just click on the button below to get instant access to my gear list. And then here you have the access the free list. And this basically goes to where you have stored your free gear list in this example, right? So this can either go to a website URL, but it can also go to a Google Drive or something like that. So we basically give it away for free. And then what we do is we add a next step. So here we add a smart delay and we can set it to 10 minutes, for example. It could also be 1 minute. It could also be 1 hour. Often I would just go with 10 minutes. And then we send them the next message. And then in this next message, that's when we're going to present our paid upsell, which is in our case, the recording checklist. So what we basically do over here is that we're going to say, but wait, I have something else for you, because getting the best gear is the first step, but the next step is making sure you don't make any mistakes. Note, this offer is only for you and you won't find it anywhere else. And then we can add a delay. And then after that delay, we can click on more and go with a card. So in Instagram, you have cards where you can basically show your offers in a very good way. And you can add here an image and you can add here a title. So what I will do, and I will just upload the image here. So this is the video recording checklist, everything you need to know before you hit record with the 21 things that they need to do before they get started with creating videos. And then the title card will be the video recording checklist for creators. And then between brackets, we will say just $7. And then we can also, what we can do is we can add another message where we're going to say, when you start with making videos, you need to have a recording checklist to avoid any mistakes and save lots of time. Then we add another delay and then we say, that's why I created this. So basically we say, that's why I created the video recording checklist. Inside you will get my 1-page checklist, a 3-step guide to making recording fun and easy, and a bonus, the 7 most common recording mistakes and how to avoid them. And then again, add a delay and then And lastly, we add the CTA, so the call to action. So we say, want this too? You can get it now for just $7. Just click the button below and I will send it right over. What we do then here is we add 2 buttons. We add one button with yes, I want it. So that's what we do over here. And we add another button with more info, please. Right? Because you have people that are immediately convinced and they just want to buy it. These are going with this first button, and you have the more info, please. These are still people that are not really sure if they want to buy. In both cases, what we're going to do is we're just going to send them to the checkout page, right? So I've created a checkout page for this on my own platform. So let's go over here. And when you go to this URL, then you here have the video recording checklist, everything you need to do before you hit record, my 1-page checklist with 21 things, right? So that's what we basically do. So what you can do is you can connect these buttons, open website, and then click here. You have the website URL. And then the more info, please, also open website. And then it goes to the website URL. And that's basically how you do that. And what's also good to know is that if you're using a platform like Thrivecart or SampCart, you can also pre-fill the checkout form. So I'm using WooCommerce. So in WooCommerce, you don't have this by default, at least. But what you can actually do is because we already have someone's name and we already have someone's email, we can actually often pre-fill the data that's over here. So what you can just do, let's say you're using Thrivecart, is you can just search for pre-fill checkout form Thrivecart on Google. And then here, when you click on this, this shows an article that explains how to do this and how you can basically do this. But with most checkout platforms, what you can do is you can add a question mark and then, for example, say first name is, and then the first name. So this will actually be filled by ManyChat with the first name. And N, so that's the N taken, and the email is, and then the email that we have from ManyChat. And what this often will do with most checkout platforms is that the email and the first name is already pre-filled. So this actually makes sure that the conversion rate of your checkout page is also bigger. So that's basically how I set it up. I'll just remove it because in my case, it doesn't work. And then you hit update. So that's basically it. That's the entire funnel with how you can monetize your Instagram account. So I would just quickly go through this. So how this basically works is that anytime someone DMs us with gear lists or comments with gear lists, we say, looks like you're ready to start creating videos. Just click on the button below or reply with gear. Whenever they do that, then they go to the next message and then we say, awesome. Just a few quick steps. What is your name? Nice to meet you. And on what email do you want to receive this? If they don't reply to any of those questions, we send an automatic reminder within 3 minutes. And then if they don't reply to that reminder, we send another reminder within 1 hour. And then eventually, if they all do that, then we say, you're all set. Can't wait for you to get started with this. We wait 10 minutes and then we present them the paid upsell, and then we directly send them to your checkout page. So that's basically the entire funnel with how you can monetize your Instagram account. So let me show you how this works on Instagram. So now I am on my Instagram account, and then if I go to one of my posts and reply with gear list, then I get an automatic DM with looks like you're ready to start creating videos. Just click on the button below. So when I click on this button, then I get the next message, which is awesome. Just a few quick steps to get you access. What is your first name? So then I type in my first name and says, nice to meet you. And on what email do you want to receive your free gear list? So then I type in my email. And then it says, you're all set, Joran. Can't wait for you to get started with shooting videos. Just click the button below to get instant access to my gear list. And then after 10 minutes, you get this message, but wait, I have something else for you, because getting the best gear is the first step, but the next step is making sure you don't make any mistakes. Note, this offer is only for you. You won't find it anywhere else. The video recording checklist for just $7. When you start with making videos, you need to have a recording checklist. That's why I created this checklist. You will get all of this stuff. Want this too, you can get it now for just $7. Just click the button below and I will send it right over. And when you click this button, then you will go to the checkout page. And just so you know, in this case, I set it to 10 minutes, a reminder, but you can also set it to 10 seconds or 1 minute. It basically depends on what you want. So that's how the entire funnel works on Instagram. And before I wrap up this video, I want to answer one question. What if you set us up but you don't get any results. If that happens, it usually comes down to two things. One, it could be that your offer isn't good enough. If that's the case, you need to improve your offer. Or two, it could be that your audience doesn't trust you enough to buy from you. If that is the case, then you first need to build more trust before presenting a paid offer. And what I typically do with clients is that I run something called the sales generation funnel. So with the sales generation funnel, we give away something for free. And then once we have done that, we give away more free value, more free value, more free value. And then once we have done that, then we present the paid offer. So if you want to know how to do that and how to build a strong offer, you can actually learn that in my paid school masterclass. So if you're interested in that, please go to the link in the description. But that's it. That's how you can monetize your Instagram account in 2025. But this is just a start. If you want to see how this funnel works with one of my clients, please check out this video.